Welcome everyone. This is the fortnightly SIG etcd triage meeting. Community meeting. My name is James. I'm an etcd maintainer, and we've got a shared Google Doc, which hopefully you can see, for the agenda items for today. This is an open meeting, so feel free to put forward a topic. And first up, we have Benjamin for the Go routine leak issue.
Yeah, can you go to the first comment go to the very first comment? Yeah. Please go to the very first comment. No, the very first.
The actual issue or the?
Please scroll up the hold on. Yeah. The problem is, this large scale of the system. There are tens of thousands of clients and millions of watchers. So in such case, there's a coroutine will get bigger and bigger over time. You see the diagram. The coroutine never just increase, never decrease. So about 10 days later, it's from 100,000 to more than 200,000, almost to 300,000 in 10 days. So it never decrease. Yeah, I don't think we can reproduce this in just light traffic. For example, just tens of thousands of clients, hundreds of virtual. We cannot reproduce with that small, large scale. Yeah, the problem is, the fix is, in each time when the client creates a string, watch string, on the server side, we create two go routine. The one for the routine receive the request from client. The second go routine will send a response back, send a loop, receive loop. That two go routine. The problem is when the client closes a string on the server side, maybe just close the send routine, but the receive routine didn't close. So usually the send routine, the count of send routine and receive routine should be equal, but they're not equal. There's a huge gap. Yeah. The fix here is very simple. The fix to the issue is pretty simple, but the problem is it's hard to reproduce in a E2E test, and also it's hard to verify. Can I go to the last comment? Can I go to my last comment, please? Yeah, the problem is my last comment. Yeah, the problem is hard to reproduce and verify. There's one proposal we can add two metrics. The first is to the receive loop counts, and the second is send loop counts. Usually the two numbers should be equal, should be always equal. But there's a dynamic change, so they should be roughly equal, always roughly equal, because the diff should be less than 10%. For example, if the receive loop count is 100, the send loop count should be between 90 and 110, should be the range. But if the number of clients and the number of watch is stabilized, they should be exactly equal. And also, if all the watches are closed, the both number should be 0. This is the expectation. Yeah. Anyway, we need to create a test to reproduce this and verify the fix works. Yeah, this is the next priority. Yeah, this is the routine. Yeah, I just see Mark said you are going to create a test. So are you going to add test in the robots test?
I was experimenting with lower level testing because there are two parts. One, this is very like Go routine race thing, so it's both easy to notice because there is just a channel that we write to and we don't check the closure, which is technically something easy and even statically verifiable that technically you should never write to channel if you're not sure that there is someone reading from it without a condition to execute or you have a condition execute, and usually the pattern is you always should have a exit path, which is a close hereby closed channel. So it's technically a trivial code, but because it's so we could fix it, but the generic problem of how do we detect coroutine leakage is very complicated case, mainly because it's very random, like very random cases of path. What Benjamin described is there is a rule or like immutable immutable property of you should have the same number of coroutines sending as receiving on average, but to like detecting and looking through the possible space to find all the edge cases where we might have missed it, it's very complicated. So in my experiments, I tried to write a unit test that would simulate, and
Unit test, okay.
yeah, it is that it's doesn't really it doesn't really work because it always exits or same condition that you try to deadlock the one of the coroutines makes the test deadlock, which makes it not very useful test. And now I'm trying to write an integration test, but I mean high level, I'm thinking whether we can I will try to test it automatically, but I think it's also a pretty reasonable approach that we will not. It's too hard to test for it. We should maybe review the code and look for any pattern of writing to channel without a select and condition, because that's usually a clear pattern of
Okay.
of
Yeah.
something like
Okay.
someone not forgetting to write an exit, and it's very hard to prove that all coroutines will exit. Like you cannot find go leak or.
Okay.
I think that
Okay.
Benjamin approach that you mentioned, that maybe exposing a metric, but I mean, one thing I'm trying to use this metric internally for the within process, but exposing this metric for users to test, it's very weird because we would need to.
Yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there are a couple things. The first thing, yeah, I'm open to create whatever unit test is okay. What unit test is okay. Yeah. The second thing, we should verify this from the E2E test. From the E2E test, I don't see an easy way to verify. Otherwise, the simple thing I can think of is add to metrics. But just as I mentioned, it's a little weird to expose the metrics to the user. But it's just for internal test purpose. Yeah, I agree. It's a little weird to export the metrics to the user, but we can.
Yeah, it's a very strange edge case because I was not able to reproduce it. I started trying to reproduce it now that I failed like within a couple of minutes, because it's very weird case when you need to fill a channel or control channel, and this is very unusual. So like my expectation is something is also with this client or this reproduction that was proposed by the user. I'm not sure this is even a normal pattern of. I would need to like check how frequent this pattern is, because it's for me unusual to have filled the control loop channel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then can you? Okay. Then we finish. Then finish my point. Just three things. The first thing, unit test is okay. Whatever unit test is okay. For the E2E test, yeah, I agree. It's a little weird to add to metrics. But only the third point is we can add some generic test to just monitor the highlight our coroutines leakage, not specific to the watch. We can watch whatever coroutine. For example, when each case finishes, we expect the overall coroutine number should be roughly equal to before the test, or roughly equal. This is a generic test. We can add into the robustness test, because we depend on high-level traffic, large number of clients, or yeah, I don't think we can test this in a normal E2E test.
I mean, we have. I don't remember where, but we have enabled the go or test leakage. So we test if we run etcd itself, or we run the code, or when unit test or integration test, there should be a part of the main. I don't know in which main. Maybe it's we set up the leakage detection. There is a lot of exceptions, and I haven't reviewed all the exceptions that are there, if they're correct. I hope so, if there is nothing. But the problem with testing something like this on end-to-end test is fact that it would need to be baked into etcd binary, and then you would need to add a hook to do that, or on some level, because it's hard to kill the process, or when you're shutting down an etcd, how do you verify that there is a leaked coroutine? When do you verify that there is a leaked coroutine? Like, that's a hard black box question. Like, I don't know if we or currently I don't know how to do it in black box. How we could have a binary and say, "Hey, binary, tell me if you leaked any coroutines," because binary can answer, "Oh, I use all my coroutines are very useful, and there should be." We might, or okay, I have one idea. But I can write it down. We could read straight traces of etcd, and at some point when there shouldn't be any watch, we could check if there's any coroutine on watch. So that's maybe the idea. So trace analysis. That's maybe.
Okay, yes, sounds like a feasible solution. Yeah.
Sounds like someone can do a POC. I don't know if it's feasible, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we can. Yeah, probably we should enable the P profile, and we depend on the P profile to do some code stack analysis. Yeah, probably just a potential solution, generic solution. We can use that generic solution to monitor whatever coroutine we will want. Probably, yeah. Yeah, I agree. A POC is needed. We need to do a POC. But for the fix, the fix is simple and safe. Probably we can just we can approve the fix. What do you think? Probably we can just approve a merge the fix and do the whatever test, improve on the analysis on the code stack later.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sure. Let me add a comment.
Alrighty, team. That was a good discussion. Conscious of time. The next one's Benjamin, also just around progress on the data inconsistency issue.
Yeah, Arka is in the meeting.
Yes. So I have actually incorporated the change that Benjamin asked. So I'm currently writing the E2E test for it, like taking references from the existing ones and trying to write it. So I've raised a PR, and also I reached out to Ivan. So he has also shared me the steps to run the benchmark. So once I'm done with the E2E testing, like writing the test, I will be running the benchmark and finishing this PR.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Arka, for the update. That's awesome. So we need to have a bit of a chat about KubeCon. It is coming up very quickly. So we've got the kiosk. We don't have a Contra Fest this year. I didn't get one this year. And the maintainer track, we need to start working on the deck. So a quick reminder for everyone, for anyone that hasn't seen the spreadsheet, it is set up and ready to go. So if you'll be at KubeCon in Salt Lake City and you're keen to help out the etcd community, please feel free to put your name down in the spreadsheet here, and It'd be awesome to hang out with some folks at the booth. And also, the Maintainer Track talk is all in the schedule now, so you can see when that is. And we probably just need to get the deck created. I'm guessing the branding, like the sample deck, is live on the CNCF on the KubeCon site, so we can probably go and grab that and kick that off. I'll pick that up. And I'll share that. So co-speakers, keep an eye out for a Slack message from me. Did we have anything planned for the Contributor Summit? Refresh my memory.
I don't think I have signed up anything yet, but I think we can still sign up. I do want to do something like last year, like the just face-to-face community meeting. What do you
I
think?
thought I saw a GitHub issue for.
Yeah, to sign up like contributor summit meetings and stuff, right?
Yeah. Let me try and find that. I'm trying to think where that was. Might have been under KX community. I'll quickly check that. Okay, so meet and greet. This just got opened. So do we want to do SIG meet and greet?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's put a note down there. I'll be there, that's fine.
Where did you? Yep.
Okay, cool. And I'll just put that into here as well. Okay, and there was another issue, I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
Unconference.
Okay.
I think it was this one, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So Josh has proposed a working group SCD operator session. That's cool. I'll certainly be keen for that. We may want to propose something else. So leads, have a think about that. Feel free to put something forward. Let's just put that in here. Okay, anything else we need to think about for KubeCon today now? What do we think, team? Anything I'm missing?
Did we ever collect the list of people who are going to KubeCon? I forgot.
There's a list in here.
Okay, all right, great. So yeah, if you're not signing up the kiosk, you can still put your name there so we know you're there. We usually do a KubeCon dinner together with all the SCD contributors. So yeah, put your name there and we'll contact you at Slack.
Awesome. Okay, team, conscious of time, we've got a couple more topics and about 5 minutes each. So, Ivan, new linters, static checks, take it away.
Yeah, so I think, sorry, I think lately, or or mostly last week and this week, we've seen a lot of activity regarding linters, static checks, and whatnot in as pull requests. And then I took a kind of like a reactive approach. So I saw this contributor adding a lot of yeah, like creating all of these pull requests. So I at least wanted to create a ticket, an umbrella ticket. But this is just so he enabled testify linter, and so yeah, so that basically a ticket that I created, it's for testify linter, but he's also enabling other linters, and so I saw Marek's comment like maybe this is getting out of hand with so many static checks. So again, I just took a reactive approach of just creating a ticket to make sure that we have all of the work in one place. But do we want to enable more linterns? Does that make sense? Like I think we don't have like a leadership point of view of we want this, we don't want this. So it's been just kind of like bombing the pull requests. So yeah, I just wanted to like bring this topic and open it for discussion. Maybe Marek, Ben, what do you think?
I think there's a lot of benefits in static analysis. It's just it's a trade-off of if we put a lot of safeguards and or a lot of like checks, it can get that maybe people are not accustomed with, or even us are not accustomed with the side effects of some of those checks exactly. It might cause at least frustration or slowdown. I know, like for me, based on experience on like Kubernetes, that's too much. For example, if you look at Kubernetes, because if you send a PR, you need to wait 1 hour to get information that you did a typo in your dictionary, in your comment, and there is a dictionary check that verifies common typos. So you wait 1 hour for that. So I would want us to think about striving a balance, or at least making it obvious for people how they can do it and iterate quickly, even with those linters. So still having them easily accessible, easily verifiable, and runnable locally. And so that we have like some comprehension how long it takes to lint this whole code base, and have some target. Like if we are within, a minute or 2 minutes, or let's say within time that it take tests, then we should be okay. But if we are like, we should be aware that it's no one has, or contributors don't have infinite time, and every time they want to contribute and they're not aware of those linters, it can be a wall for a new contributor.
Peg, say something. Okay.
I have a quick question. So I think it should be easy to see if we're quote unquote compliant with the lint or not. Do we know how badly we're out of compliant, or does it actually, if we were to enable it, say like today, like how much of a flag do we see?
I think in that case, so what this contributor has been doing is enabling it on his own and then just submitting pull request addressing the issues. So it's basically that our Golang CI linter configuration is not enabled, so it's just a matter of enabling it. But
right, and none of the linters take like, I know like the end-to-end test part that could take long, but to fix the linter itself should be pretty straightforward.
In some cases you can use the auto fix for the linters. In some cases that doesn't work and it needs manual intervention. But definitely, so maybe a little bit of my thoughts also with the pro job migration is that sometimes, so it's a little bit what Marek is saying. If someone broke the linter, You will just see it once someone approves so contributors, you need to approve you need to do the OK to test. So maybe it will be worth considering later to do an approach of hybrid of GitHub workflows, maybe just for user forks, that it runs the lintern at their commits, but we also have the static check. So that's another conversation, I think.
Let's see. I'm usually pro linter. It's just, I love our code base when it's as brainless as it can. But if some of the linters doesn't flag anything, that probably means that the linter will keep the same set of, chain of thought or school of thoughts and philosophies within our code base. And then maybe we can keep the code base as coherent as we can if we put the linter on it. So maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
From my perspective, I'm open to whatever change to improve the readability, to follow the best practice. I'm okay. I'm open to all such change as long as there's no significant side effect. But for the PR, I expect each PR should be as small as possible. For example, less than 100 lines of code change. We can just make sure there's no any typo, there's no any error, but easy to review.
Okay. All right. So we'll just suggest that we create like a parent issue for enabling the rest of the linters, because there's also many pull requests that, so this is just a lintern that he enabled, but there's many other linterns that they are working on.
Yeah, I think just tracking them so that we can provide input early if we want to. We've got, looks like 4 left to go for this particular piece of work. So I'm certainly open to finishing those off. Yeah, let's just check, make verify hasn't blown out in terms of runtime. I don't think it would have, but we'll check it, make sure it's not going to impact contributor experience. Yeah, sounds good, team.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and we are really short on time, but I will just call out. So Vivek has requested review on this PR. Vivek, we probably don't have time to go through it, but I will. So we've got it up on screen there, and it's probably a call to Merrick and Benjamin to add some thoughts from a tech lead perspective, because I think there's a little bit of a discussion probably to be had on these.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking for some additional advice, because there's one test failing and I know it's failing, but I don't have like a good way to fix it. So yeah, any feedback, we appreciate it.
Just one quick question. All these metrics are driven by your production requirements or just your personal thoughts?
I think it's good to capture these metrics, but I can shed light on these because we've run into like a couple of like lease issues, and we were catching these metrics while we ran into these lease issues. So that's how we came about at least giving this back, and we're slowly kind of figuring out how to give back what we've learned with our lease issues so far. So yeah, it's just one part of what we've learned.
Yeah, please ping on the PR if like you can always like ping it directly if we don't see if we don't respond. It's just because we lose some notifications. Like GitHub is like a bit leaky.
Yeah. No, I also like I did Slack, but I was not sure if I should ping like individuals because I don't know. You guys must be busy as well, so.
Okay, team. Conscious of time, we do need to call things there. Thanks everyone for coming along. Hope you have a lovely weekend, and hope to see you at the next meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, have fun.
Thank you. Bye.